on the other side of the table. If you were an entrepreneur and you wanted to start a company today, what types of things, markets, industries, obviously within the technology sector, would you start?
I think the first thing I'd do is find really great people to do it with me. I think that is so much more important ultimately than the particular decision about your market or your technology choice, etc.
So you would take an A team with the B or C idea versus the alternative?
Always, always. And the truth is, A teams don't usually have B or C ideas because they recognize, gee, you know, we're looking at this thing, it's an interesting market, we have an idea, a particular approach, and maybe it's an A- idea. Maybe you say, well, I'm not sure how that's going to evolve, but it'll probably evolve in an interesting way with this team. Then I'm happy to invest and see how it goes, because historically what's happened is they've figured out that there was some other twist, or there was a better market, or there was a better way to get to a group of people. And so I would always start with the people first. The other thing I would say is, even though there's a lot of activity in and around the internet, and you know, I had a conversation with someone recently where they said to me, David, you know, now that this web stuff, this whole Web 2.0 thing has played itself out, and you know, what's next? Do you think the technology is telecom? Is it wireless? And I said, no, I think it's this thing called the internet. I'm really, you know, bullish on the internet.
You may have heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, it has a dot. I think that we're not even close to figuring out all of the amazing things that are facilitated and enabled by having all of these nodes on the web connected together in these services. And you know, when 10 years ago we were looking at this stuff, it was very simple kind of point solutions, and the end thing was always a computer, and it was probably on a modem, and it was very slow, and it was not very graphical. And now the endpoints are almost always high speed. They're these really powerful computers with high-powered graphics. They are, you know, smartphones that can take data, high-speed data, while you're driving, you know, 80 miles an hour down the road. It's your television, which is suddenly, you know, as good a monitor as exists on the planet, and new sets of input devices. So, and that's just in the consumer space. And then think about commerce. I mean, think about how sending a package has changed over the last decade, right? My God, I mean, the fact that I always forgot people's birthdays a decade ago got me in a whole lot more trouble before than it did now. And that's all through the evolution of, you know, some basic technologies, but the tracking and management and ordering and all of that stuff, that's the web. The web has completely changed everything. It's changed how we travel. It's changed how we talk with our friends. It changes who we fall in love with. It changes, you know, how our kids grow up. So I'm bullish on this thing called the web. I'm still looking for, you know, the interesting deals.